friends, welcome to My Sew Bliss. Today I'm excited to be partnering up with Baby Lock Sewing Machines and bringing you another sewing tutorial. Today I'm going to feature a tutorial all about how to make your own Patchwork Mini Bow. It comes in 3 different sizes, is such a great pattern. My friend made this pattern and I love it. It's been blowing up, gone viral on Instagram, and is seriously amazing and so fun. The giant one is so cute and perfect for like your front door. I really liked this mini one and I thought I would try it for like a Christmas tree. This is my Christmas in July project that I thought I would share with you guys, because who doesn't want to make like 10 of these and then put them all over a Christmas tree? I know I do, and now that I've made one, I don't think I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna need one for every single holiday, and definitely going to need a giant one just like this to put on my front door as well. So possibilities are endless, so many variations that you can make of this. So I'm excited to show you the steps for it and share my tips and tricks on how to make this. So I'm going to be using my Baby Lock Brilliance, which is this amazing machine right here. This is my go-to sewing machine. It's part of the Genuine collection for Baby Lock, which is some wonderful machines. It also includes the Zest or the Vibrant as well, which are other basic sewing machines, and a serger. I love them. They are wonderful beginner machines. This one has a little more features to it, but I think it's great for beginners and advanced sewists, so I highly recommend it. Other than your sewing machine and sewing supplies, I used a fat quarter that I received from Missouri Star Quilt Co. I had some leftovers and it worked out perfectly for this. Fat quarter bundle is what I mean. Like I said, it worked out perfectly. So the front is patchwork, and then the back, like right here, has like a piece of fabric, and then on the inside is a piece of fabric, and then the tie is a piece of fabric as well, not patchworked, but you could totally do both sides if you want to. You could make this part patchwork as well if you want to. Like I said, possibilities and the variations on this are really endless, and I just love it. The other supplies that you're going to need are some soft and stable. That is all a part of, like, in the pattern, it explains that. So pattern, soft and stable, and then a zip tie to hold it all together. It's amazing, genius, great way to use what you have, and I just really love that. So make sure to grab your pattern and your fabric, and let's get started sewing our mini patchwork bows. One of the supplies that I forgot to mention in the intro is the Tensisters Easy Piecing Grid Panel. This is so helpful for this project, or if you're piecing anything with patchwork or squares, definitely look into this. You can get it in whatever size you need, especially for these bows. It comes in all the sizes, and it's interfacing on one side. So I'm ironing my patchwork pieces, my squares that I've cut out and placed all over it. I'm ironing them in place, and this is going to make it so much easier to sew them together. And then you can even sew the pieces of interfacing together or iron them together and make it whatever size you really do need. So this is great for so many different projects, but especially for this bow in the patchwork version, I highly recommend. I'll put a link for it. So I got all that interfaced on, and then I can start sewing it together, and this is just going to make everything line up. So I decided to sew down lengthwise, so down the rows of the squares all the way down. So you just fold it so it's right sides together, the interfacing is on top, and you just stitch down each row that you need to sew together. So I did that first. And of course, once I had one row stitched, then I went and did the other rows as well. Same exact thing. Make sure your squares are right sides together. Interfacing is going to be on top. It does start to like bunch up a lot, but that's because it's a small bow. If you're doing the micro, it's going to be even smaller. So it kind of looks funny at first, but now I'm going to open this up, and I like to iron it all in one direction first, and then I'm going to clip my seams. So I'm going to clip to my stitching, not through the stitching, in the columns. And this is going to make it so we can iron those either direction so that when we sew them, they're going to lay so much nicer and it's going to be easier to sew. I'll show you how to do this, but you are wanting to clip all of them all the way down the whole piece. Don't skip this step. I know it seems so basic, but this little clip is so helpful. And make sure you're not cutting through the stitching that you just did. We don't want to create any holes in our bow. Now I am doing this same process for both panels. You should have two that are two different sizes, and I'm doing the exact same thing. After the clips are made, I'm then ready to iron. And like I said, each column is going to go a different direction. So one column will go away from me, the other column will go towards me, and then I'll go in that manner back and forth all the way down, so it's the opposite of each other. And that way they're going to sandwich or butt up together when I sew those seams together. So if you look on this one, I have one going up and then one going down. When they're placed right sides together, they just nest together. This is called nesting your seams. And then they sew together so nicely. See how perfect those match up? This is because of nesting and the interfacing. So I'm going to continue sewing this down the whole panel. And like I said earlier, I'm doing this for both panels. Whatever size you're working on, you're going to do it for both of them. And I'm just stitching the columns all the way down, making sure those seams stay nesting because that just makes it so nice. And then once you iron it here in this step, it just looks so beautiful. So I did spend a lot of time ironing it because it starts to get thick, but it looks so beautiful. Our next step is going to be quilting it. And I decided to quilt it with my Baby Lock Shishiko. I love this machine. It's so much fun. It was great to use for this project. If you don't have it, you can definitely do quilting on a regular machine. After the quilting, I took my panel A piece and put the backing on top of it, right sides together. And now I'm marking with the measurement in the pattern for the tails, and this is just create the triangle to cut out. So it varies depending on what size you're doing. Like I said before, make sure you know what size you're doing and the measurements for it. And then I'm going to clip those pieces right sides together. You can use pins. I like to clip 2 pins specifically that tell me where to start and stop, because then I'm going to sew around it, leaving a 5-inch opening. So that way we can turn it right sides out. Make sure to pivot at your corners to get those crisp points, and like I said, leave that opening. Afterwards, I trimmed my corners, and I do like to do a little clip on the middle of the triangle point just so it lays nicely and turns perfectly when we turn it right sides out. Next is one of the harder parts, turning it right sides out. You got to stuff that bulk out. I like to use a point turner. Another option that I really like to use is a thick needle. Unfortunately, I had a thin needle and may have bent mine, but it's okay. It still worked out. But if you use that needle, it can help if you pierce the fabric, just the point that you need to pull out, and kind of put pressure on it to pull that out. Another one is doing a needle and thread and actually just doing that, putting thread through it with no knot at the end and then pulling those points out. It just makes those points look so crisp. And if you didn't trim enough, you might want to go back and trim some more for these corners. Of course, not cutting your stitching. We don't want to create any holes in the bows. But like I said, this will just make some beautiful points. And then I'm giving it a crisp iron and making sure that opening of 5 inches is folded in 1/4 inch. So then we can go around and top stitch the whole thing, and it will seal that opening closed. So I'm going to do that again. I really like using a stiletto to help keep those things closed, and when I'm getting close to the points so that they don't get sucked under. I'll leave a link down below for that as well. I love a stiletto. It's been so helpful, and I'm so glad my friends told me to get one. Next up, we have our second panel. This is panel B, and again, we're putting it right sides together with the backing piece that coincides with it and clipping it. We're going to leave a 5-inch opening and sew all the way around it. Again, making sure we give our corners a nice crisp point. And I am going to trim these corners as well and turn it right sides out after I've trimmed it. Use that point turner. Again, get some nice pretty corners. I love good corners. And once we have that all turned right sides out, I'm going to take my iron and iron it again. same basic steps. I'm making sure that 5-inch opening is folded inside and you can't see any raw edges anymore, so that way we can go around and top stitch once again. And if you want to do a fun creative stitch here, you totally can. That would be an awesome thing to do right here. I did clip a lot. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like it gets loose when you have an opening like this, like the fabric wants to fold out. So I did some extra clipping this time to really secure it into place. But then I'm just going around the entire rectangle and top stitching. After you have finished stitching on panel B, we're going to put it right sides together so the short ends meet up. And we're going to stitch this in place. This is going to be stitched at 1/2 of an inch instead of the typical 1/4 of an inch that we've been stitching at. So make sure to do that, and also make sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end. We really want to secure this stitching. This is going to turn into our loops, and we want them to be strong and beautiful. Once I had it stitched, I did press that seam open. I really wanted it to lay flat, and there's a lot of bulk going on, so pressing it just really helps with that. Another thing I did was turn it right sides out so that it is ready to go for when we need it to put our bow together. And make sure to trim your threads. Always helpful so we don't have to do it all at the end. Next, we're ready to create the center tie strip. So I have a piece of soft and stable, one of my strips, and I'm going to place it wrong sides on top of the soft and stable, and then I'm going to get the second strip that I have for the tie strip, so you should have 2, and I'm going to place right sides together. So the fabric's right sides together, and then the soft and stable is on the outside. I'm going to stitch around this rectangle, and I'm going to leave a 3-inch opening so that I can turn it right sides out. This is exactly how we did the big B panel, so just in a smaller form. We're clipping corners and then turning it right sides out. Try and get those corners out again, like I said, nice crisp corners. You want something small and pointy to do this, but we also don't want to break our fabric. Another thing is making sure those ends get ironed and folded in so that we can top stitch them just like we did the other panel. And so giving a nice iron with this is always really helpful. Again, I love my stiletto. It really helps so I don't burn my fingers off. And then I just did a nice top stitch all the way around this to secure it in place, really finish that off and close up that edge so that next we can assemble the bow. So I'm taking the loop and I'm placing a fold in it. This is just how I like to do it. I think it's also more based on preference. And I used my giant clips to help hold it in place, and then found the center of the tail, kind of did the same thing, kind of scrunched it, folded it up how I thought it would look nice, and found that center part and placed it with the loop and then zip tied it together. I love that she suggests to use a zip tie in this. I think it's so resourceful and a great way to use something that we probably all have around our house. And it's going to hold it so nice for pretty much ever. So get that zip tied on really tight and secure. I did adjust my tails a little bit, so just make sure that's centered and the way you like it before you zip tie it too tight, and really finish that off. And then I just trimmed the zip tie. Of course, we don't want anything hanging out and distracting from our beautiful work that we just did. Then I can take the center tie strip and I just wrapped it around the front so that the ends meet in the back. And I decided just to use a glue gun because I know it's not going to be seen on the back side. If you want it to look a little nicer or not have any glue on it, you could also hand sew this closed or even use like Velcro strips. There's lots of different options, but I really liked this hot glue gun option. It was quick, it was easy. And it did the job just how I wanted it to. So I secured that in place, held it, and then it was completely finished. After you've put your bow together, you are all done with your mini patchwork bow. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to go and check out the bows that Brooklyn has made and the patterns she has. There's, like it said, 3 different sizes. They're so fun and so cute, and I love it. With that soft and stable, it makes them so nice and stable. I love soft and stable, if you can't tell. Thank you so much to Baby Lock and the Baby Lock Brilliance for being a part of this and sponsoring this video. I have loved working with Baby Lock. Their machines are wonderful. Their service is amazing, and they have helped in all my sewing needs and desires of making quilty things, making clothing, making bags. So I really appreciate them as well. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe for more sewing tutorials, tips, and tricks, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!